And now, for the first time ever, a 2020 edition of Fallback. And look who's here, television personality and now podcast host, Ross Mathews. You may remember him as Ross the Intern on, of course, The Tonight Show with Jay Leno.
18 years ago, can you believe that?
Count it up. He's also been on Chelsea Lately, Celebrity Big Brother, and he is a judge on the Emmy Award-winning competition show, RuPaul's Drag Race. He's also spilling all kinds of tea in the new book, Name Drop. We'll get into that. And speaking of Emmys, we are also joined by my colleague, Emmy Award-winning journalist Cynthia McFadden, senior investigative correspondent for NBC News. She's interviewed everyone from Madonna to Queen Latifah to Hillary Clinton and Michelle Obama. Wow, what a list. And is, of course, a former host of Nightline with a 20-year journalism career at ABC News. Two icons.
Let me tell you, I saw her, Cynthia walk by me, and I dorked out. I had no idea she would be here. So this is a big thrill for me. And you and I, first time in person. How about this?
Right, to shake the hand.
It's pretty butch.
It shook the hand.
Well,
it's a strong
nice handshake.
I do a strong.
Yeah, I know. Eyes.
Eyes, hand, focus. I love having you together. I love these pairings. There's so much going on. This is a 2020 fallback. What's on your list?
Okay, well, someone who I think is to fall back just a skosh is the woman from Iowa who voted for Pete Buttigieg in the Democratic the caucus there, and then once she found out he was gay, wanted her vote back. Now, a few things going on here. One, gross lady. Two, they've been campaigning there for about 2 years, right? It's a small state. They blanketed the airwaves. He was on the cover of Time magazine. I don't know. Maybe look up once or twice before you cast a vote. Just look around.
You're saying an informed voter might have even known about this.
Could have maybe just had an inkling. You know, him and his husband on the cover of Time was a, heads up. I mean, that's, especially in the Democratic Party, that's not a position most of us take, right? I mean, we're the party. We had our president, Barack Obama, he was Democrat. He brought in marriage equality. He led that flag with Joe Biden. So I don't understand why you're voting in the Democratic caucus if you have an issue with it. And two, if you're going to cast a vote for somebody, you should know who they are. We've gotten to know these people, especially in Iowa. They spent millions of dollars introducing themselves to them.
So let me ask you a tough question.
Go.
What do you say in the midst of this fallback? What should a candidate say to someone who says that, do you think?
Well, I mean, that's a tough question. I mean, you're talking about ideology here, right?
Ross, I told you it would be a tough question.
Well, you did do that. Why am I here? No. You have to have those conversations. I think one by one as they meet us, as people meet us, maybe she's never met a gay person before.
Or maybe she never knew she met a gay person.
Well, apparently she didn't know she voted for one, so that could be. But, as we're introduced to these people, I mean, we've never had a candidate for president at this level be openly gay. So this is a first for voters. And I think the next one who's running, it will be less of an issue and so on and so forth, just like it was with Barack Obama being the first African-American president.
Yeah, I love you bringing this up. And I think, Cynthia, we've seen this with other candidates, whether it was Catholicism with Kennedy, you mentioned race, and you want to bring people in even as you're up against, just like Jackie Robinson or any other pathbreaker, you're up against tremendous ignorance sometimes.
I hear what you're saying about this individual woman, but really go to 30,000 feet. It looks like you won.
Yes.
Which is like,
good, look at you, some perspective.
Well, because, actually a bunch of people in my office this morning saying, like, is it a little weird no one's talking about the fact he's gay?
Yeah.
And is that a good thing or a bad thing? And it seems to me that's great that people voted for this man who they believed in.
What's on your list?
Well, actually, I want to go back to Iowa.
Sure.
I would say the Shadow app.
Wow.
I have spent all week covering the Shadow app and digging in. And let's just think about it. Iowa had 4 years to figure out how they were going to get these caucus and precinct chairmen to report in. And the best they could do was come up with an app, given everything we know, that they were to download on their personal unsecured cell phones. Right, already, like, let's stop the music. Are you kidding me?
Right.
I mean, from the get-go, there's a problem. Now, the fact that it didn't work after that and it underreported certain kinds of votes, I mean, that there was a glitch, as they call it, in the system. I mean, forget about that. The app has got to go. Obviously, it's not going to be around. I am an evangelist for the paper record.
Sure.
Yes.
And in fact, the paper record is what saved Iowa, because otherwise I'm not sure we could be confident.
Well, wasn't it Rick Ross who said every day is another opportunity to touch the paper? Now, he wasn't talking about backup voting systems. He was talking about paper as
I love
currency.
when you do it. It's so like dorky dad, dorky uncle when you start quoting things.
We think of it as more nerdy than dorky, Ross.
All right, tomato, tomato.
Is tomato a fruit?
What you call me?
Is tomato...
This is so like being on nightly news.
I didn't even see where that was headed.
Goodbye to a great journalism career.
I think you guys
so
are
much.
great together.
You know what? Maybe we could get an MSNBC show.
Sold. I'm in charge of everything here. So yeah, done. Greenlit.
Was it not Ross Matthews who said birds of a feather?
Flock together. Thank you. Thank you.
There's way too much handshaking.
Real touchy.
Ross Matthews, Cynthia McFadden, and Ross's new book.
Oh, please.
Hold it up.
It's called Name Drop. It's
Drop.
a really good celebrity stories. I usually only tell at happy hour, which is where Cynthia and I are going to go now.
This is my new book. It's my calendar.
Hey, I'm Ari Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.